Brenda, we have a little bit of a muted response today to a pretty, I would say, comfortable set of data from the employment report. We did have this shakeout in August. We're, up 3 or 4% on the NASDAQ this week. Where does this leave us? Do we have unfinished business in terms of a pullback, or was that it?
I think when we look, it's hard to argue that the fundamental picture is looking pretty good. We've had a string of economic data recently that suggests that things may be softening around the edges, but that's really what we need to see in order to suggest that the Fed is probably done or is going to pause in September. So I think that's good news. I don't expect to see more of a pronounced market pullback. I do think we could see some stocks take a break, some that have had tremendous moves this year, but not all have. There certainly are plenty of opportunities, and even within the tech group, that we think still have legs from here.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of the biggest companies in growth in the NASDAQ, in tech in general, have shown a lot of earnings resilience and even just other kind of growth drivers. Where within the sector would you look right now in terms of fresh opportunities?
Yeah, I think so. Our view from a fresh opportunity perspective is really sticking with companies that have valuation that's reasonable relative to themselves, have a good margin improvement story, and still have a great growth opportunity. So in our view, we're looking at Salesforce, Google, and Amazon as being those three companies right here and now within that large tech group that we still think have some upside from here.
Yeah, Salesforce, of course, is definitely winning a lot of adherence on the margin story and perhaps as they layer in AI. Google's been a great outperformer. The earnings estimates have tilted higher. I am interested in your view on Amazon right here because there's a lot of questions in terms of which parts of the business you're buying it for. And they're a massive spender right now in AWS on AI capacity. How is that going to pay off for the company?
Sure. Well, I think when we look at the company, you have the AWS business where last quarter we did see stabilization and growth there, which I think is a positive, and really heard from management, seeing that, more customers are really looking out to the future and thinking bigger picture rather than being more cautious. We have the advertising business, that I think is, really well positioned within Amazon's retail business to continue growing, and that's another source of very profitable growth. And then we have Amazon's core retail business, which globally, they have a very small share of total retail sales. So we continue to think there is a growth opportunity there. Although certainly they will be, if we do see a little bit of a slowdown on the consumer side, that business could be at risk. But we do think that they've managed to, really infiltrate such a large percentage of the population, especially in the U.S. And there is more opportunity globally for them to win customers that really become, very comfortable with their business model and the ease of which they can just order product and have it delivered to their door. Yeah, so we think across the board there are drivers, and really like the margin improvement we saw last quarter, quite encouraging, especially from a company that has spent significantly over the years as a public company, and to start to see some margin improvement is really refreshing in our view.
Yes, long awaited, absolutely. Brenda, we'll talk to you again in a second.